Hello, welcome to Crackshot Chronicles. Today I'd like to discuss the 3 legal concepts that must be present before an armed citizen can use his gun to protect himself in a life and death situation. Now, I'm going to break them down. Those 3 things are jeopardy, opportunity, and ability. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I recently put out a video where I was discussing the merits of carrying concealed carry over carrying open carry. In it, I gave an example that if you open carry, you're literally painting a target on your back, because if a bad guy comes into a business and you happen to be there at the register waiting your turn to cash out, and he happens to notice that you are armed, you become the center of his attention. He's gonna take you out before he attempts to rob the place. If you carried conceal, he would not have the slightest clue that you're armed. And he would more than likely focus his attention on the register. I also made the analogy that by you carrying concealed, technically, if you chose to, you could put yourself in a situation where you're behind him or to his side, behind hard cover. You could point your gun at him and order him to drop his gun or be fired upon. Most people who have somebody who has the drop on them from behind are not going to elevate it any further. They're going to surrender. The viewer indicated, what happens if the bad guy says, no, you drop the gun or I shoot the cash register attending? Well, in that case, you have to decide if you're going to pull the trigger or not. And for you to decide whether to pull the trigger or not, you have to know what the risks are and what is required for you to pull the trigger. First, right off the bat, is you have to have 3 legal parameters present for that. One of them is jeopardy, which is the person has to physically make the threat. Pulling a gun and pointing it at somebody is a threat, because that person's life is in danger of imminent death or grave bodily harm simply because you are pointing a gun at them. The second thing is ability. The person committing the crime has to have the ability to carry out that crime. Having a gun in your hand is ability. The next one is opportunity. The person with doing the bad deed has to be in close proximity to be able to carry out the deed. What that means is, if somebody's going to slap you in the face and they're at home and you're on the phone with them, they're in their house, you're in your house, and they tell you, I'm coming over to slap you in the face, he physically cannot slap you in the face from his house. He has to come to you. Once he shows up at your front door and you open the door, he now has the opportunity to slap you in the face. He can't do that from a distance. So by that bad guy having the gun in his hand, being in the presence of where he's committing the crime, that gives him opportunity. So once opportunity, ability, and jeopardy has been established by the bad guy, any law enforcement officer that's in the area or any armed citizen would be legally allowed to use deadly force to stop him, because that bad guy has already brought deadly force to the table. He's already showing that he has the ability to shoot the clerk, he has the opportunity to shoot the clerk, and he's threatening to shoot the clerk, which is jeopardy. He's putting the clerk in jeopardy. So in that situation, you would be cleared to fire, and more than likely it would be considered a justified shooting. I urge you to check your state to see, because the laws do change from state to state and jurisdiction to jurisdiction. In my jurisdiction, in my state, I would be legally allowed to shoot. Now, there is a pitfall to that. You are legally responsible for the final resting place of every round you fire, which means if you shoot the bad guy and that bullet hits somebody other than your intended target, you are legally liable for that. So unfortunately we live in a world where everybody is looking to sue somebody for something, whether it's justified or not. So once you've engaged in deadly force with the bad guy, your next step, you're going to have to engage in a legal battle with the justice system. If you prove without a shadow of a doubt that you acted justifiably in your shooting, you still have to deal with the civil issue should the parents of the gunman decide to press charges against you or try to sue you. Well, they won't be able to press charges against you once you've been acquitted of any wrongdoing by the justice system. But they can sue you for anything. And these are things that you have to be made aware of. So I want to make sure that I'm perfectly clear today. I am not advocating that you go out looking for an excuse to shoot a criminal. That is ludicrous. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, once a bad guy brings jeopardy, opportunity, and ability into the crime scene, you would be legally allowed to defend yourself with deadly force. Now, what happens after that? It all goes on a case-by-case basis. There'll be witnesses that are going to testify. There may be film footage that's going to show what happened. And I cannot promise you or guarantee what the outcome is going to be. I'm just letting you know. In the example that I gave, where the viewer said I elevated the criminal's fight response. No, I didn't. He elevated it by bringing deadly force to the equation. All I'm doing is reacting within the legal parameters. But granted, this was not an actual shooting or an actual robbery. It was just an example I gave. So, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe so you can get more like it. Also, please hit like and make a comment if you like, good or bad. I appreciate all the comments. Thank you for watching Crackshot Chronicles. Have a good day.